welcome back to MANCINIMA. I hope you're all doing well. We are in October, and of course we know October means horror movies, and of course one of the biggest horror movies to come out in the October season is the Halloween series. And of course we've got one opening this very Friday, which is Halloween Ends, the final movie in David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy, if you like, although he's counting number one as well, so it's a quadrilogy really, but never mind. Anyway, so I'd just like to share with you some of my thoughts about what I've seen from the trailers, the TV spots and everything for Halloween Ends. And I'd like to get your opinions in the comments, so if you would, at the end of this video, if you can leave me some comments and tell me what you think about Halloween Ends, what your expectations are for Halloween Ends, that'd be great. Before we get started, if you could do the usual, give me the thumbs up. Like I say, if you don't like the video afterwards, you can always take that away, but if you can do it right now, that'd be great, so you don't forget. If you can subscribe to the channel, that would be absolutely fantastic, really would appreciate that. It really helps to spread awareness of the channel and let other people see what I'm doing, and hopefully I can get on and be encouraged to do some more. And if you can hit the notifications bell, that would be great as well, because then you'll know when I've done some more of these videos. Right, with that said, with Mikey here looking over my shoulder, let's get started. So looking at the Halloween Ends trailers, there's a lot that I liked about the two that I saw, especially the first one. I very much liked the lighting and the cinematography of that first trailer. I thought it felt very 1978, very Dean Cundy. Which is what I want. I want this movie to fit in with the original movie like was originally intended. I mean, when they came out and said that John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis will be working on this movie, I was hoping that this would be an absolute seamless kind of sequel to that first film and everything relating back to it. We'll get onto that a little bit later on. So yeah, I liked that. I liked everything I saw. It did feel like 1978 from what I was looking at. I loved the lanterns on the edge of the porch as we went up. I loved the slow walking in and the slow walking up the stairs. Very stalking. Reminded me of that opening scene of the first movie when little Michael's at the Myers house and he goes through the kitchen, grabs the knife and slowly makes his way through the front room. Very reminiscent of that, and I'm glad that they've done that in this trailer. I hope that kind of holds up in the rest of the movie. So yeah, and there's a little bit of breathing there as well, so you know Michael's in the frame, so you just know he's there and he's walking around. So yeah, that to me felt very 1978, very traditional of that original movie, so I'm glad that they're kind of scaling everything back in. I thought, yeah, you know, there was a lot of chaos in Halloween Kills. There was a lot of kills, pointless kills, and they killed off a lot of legacy characters, which was a shame. I thought a lot of the characters like Tommy Doyle, Sheriff Brackett were brought in just to be killed off, and it would have been lovely if they'd have kept those around for this movie to explore a little more of their background. I felt that they were just in there. I mean, we got to know a little bit about Tommy Doyle, but we didn't really get to know a lot more about Sheriff Brackett. It would have been lovely to have heard about what his feelings were since Annie died, and how he's been coping and why he's still in Haddonfield. There would have been, you know, so much more to explore in Halloween Kills. But sadly they killed that character off at the end of the movie, so, you know, why didn't he stick around till it ends? That's one of my major bugbears about these films to date. They brought them in, hey look, it's a legacy character, and then they killed them off. So I didn't really enjoy that. That was a bit of a pain. Another thing I liked about this trailer is that Laurie looks better. I think Jamie Lee Curtis looks much better in this trailer. I thought Jamie Lee Curtis, that is, gave a much stronger performance as Laurie Strode, and the way that she coped with Michael Myers in H2O. I've always thought that. I always thought it was much more natural. I think a person who has gone through a trauma like that wouldn't literally sit in a house for 40 years, arm themselves up to the hilt, sitting there almost like Clint Eastwood, sitting on his porch with a shotgun, waiting for somebody to come along. I mean, I can't believe that anybody would do that. Whereas in H2O, she got on with her life. She had a child. She moved to a school. She became a teacher. But she was always ever so slightly looking over her shoulder, just in case Michael Myers might be around, especially on Halloween night. And I thought that was a much more honest portrayal. Now, from what I'm getting from this trailer, from the new trailer, to me it seems like the Laurie character in the trailer, sorry, in Halloween Ends in particular, looks like a continuation of the H2O Laurie, in that she's getting on with her life. She's moved away, she's beginning to forget about Michael, and she's not as chaotic as she was in H2018, if that's what we're going to call it, and Halloween Ends. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that she's a much more natural Laurie Strode, who is now kind of, like I say, moving on with life. So yeah, so I hope that carries on throughout the rest of the movie. So it looks like also one of the things that has been my bugbear from the previous movies is that we didn't get any slow build for Michael Myers. Pretty much when 2018 came out, he was on the bus. Once he got off the bus, he went from house to house to house, killing people randomly, and that just seemed a bit stupid to me. In Halloween 2, in the 1981 Halloween 2, we saw a scene where Michael needed a knife, so what he did is he went to the Elrod's house, went into their kitchen while she was talking to her husband, reached in, grabbed the knife, left those two people alone, and went on about his business. In the 2018 and of course in Halloween Kills, he just killed anybody who got in his path, and that just didn't seem true to the character to me. So I'm hoping that they've scaled some of that back for Halloween Ends, and it does actually feel like a natural successor to the original movies. Yeah, so like I say, in the trailer you see a little shot with Laurie looking out the window, and she's looking on an empty grass, and then she's telling Lindsay that she's seen Michael Myers, and that she swears that she saw him hiding there. So he's been gone for 4 years, so there will be this doubt, and I think that's quite good. I think that Michael can get out in the daylight, and people will doubt whether they've seen him or not, because he's been gone for 4 years. They probably think he's gone away for good, probably gone away and died after the beating he received at the end of Halloween Kills. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty good. I'm quite looking forward to those moments. However, you know, you've got lots of rumours about this movie as well. The fact that it might not be Michael doing all of the killing in this film. There's a character they've introduced called Corey Cunningham. Now think about that for a second. Corey Cunningham, C, Michael Myers, M. So is he being kind of booted up as the natural successor to Michael Myers? Is he going to carry on in these films? I truly hope not. I remember watching Friday the 13th Part 5, and I really did enjoy that film, but I didn't enjoy the fact that it was the paramedic that was doing the killings and not actual Jason. So I hope that in this movie we're not going to get this Corey character. I mean, I don't know for a fact. I'm not spoiling anything because I don't know, because I haven't seen the movie. I will see it come Friday. But the rumours that are going around is that Corey Cunningham is going to be a copycat Michael Myers. So if that's the case, I really hope that he's not the one doing the majority of the kills in this movie, and it is actual Michael that's doing the kills. So yeah, that'll be a little bit disappointing if the majority of the film is focused on a copycat killer and then real Michael just appears now and again. So going back to an earlier point about Michael Myers being very stalky, very hiding in the shadows and playing games with people and stuff like that. That's what I've wanted from these movies all along. I wanted more of that and not so much of the violent kills. But what we're getting from the trailer, of course, we get little moments of that. Like I said, Laurie looks out the window and she sees Michael. Well, she doesn't see Michael, she sees an empty lawn, so we're assuming that Michael was once there and she'd seen him when he's vanished. So, you know, in that first movie, he was doing a lot of that, a lot of stalking, a lot of hiding in the shadows, a lot of hiding behind the bushes, and I really want to see some of that in Halloween Ends. I hope there'll be a build-up to the final confrontation. But then there's a bit in the trailer again where he's throwing Laurie across a desk, and there's a lot of violence, a lot of smashing around. That's not quite Michael Myers to me. I mean, even when we watched that first movie, I mean, yes, you could argue he's got older and he's grown up and he's changed his ways, but in that first movie, when Michael did a kill, he was very much like a child. He would, like when he took Bob, pinned Bob up against the wall, yes, it was violent, stuck the knife through him, but then he stepped back and he kind of examined his work like a child looking at what he'd just done. Same with Annie in the car. Once he stabbed her in the neck, there was a little bit of observation going on. And it's almost like he's wondering why he's doing this and what this dying is all about. So I'm hoping we're going to see a lot more of that, whereas in the trailer so far, from what I've experienced so far, it looks like we're going to get more of what we had in Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, which is a much more violent Michael Myers. I would say akin to the Rob Zombie version, which I've never really liked. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some of the Michael Myers toned back down. He will do a lot more of the traditional shape stuff, and that'll help the film out. So the other thing that we're getting with this movie is the promoters are heavily promoting that this is going to be a final confrontation between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers himself. Now, to me, that kind of seems kind of pointless, because we all know that once these movies have ended, however it ends, if Michael dies, if Laurie dies, at some point down the road, Michael Myers is going to come back. These movies make money. They're not going to just bury this after Halloween Ends. So at some point in the future, maybe 5 or 6 years, there will be another Halloween movie. It may follow another timeline. It may be a completely new timeline. But at whatever point, Michael Myers is coming back. So the fact they're saying Michael Myers is going to die in this movie, it doesn't really hold much weight, because he died in Halloween H2O. He had his head chopped off and they found a way to resurrect him. So there's that. So also with Laurie, if Laurie dies, then it basically makes the whole of her story arc pointless as well, because I mean, she's gone through all this conflict, fought Michael Myers, and if at the end she dies and he lives, then where are we? What has that done to our main character? Yeah, interesting to see how this one will pan out. Anyway, the movie opens on Friday. I will be watching the movie, of course, and reviewing it once I've seen it. But in the meantime, let me know what your expectations are for Halloween Ends. I'd love to know in the comments. Go down in the comments and let me know basically what you've thought about the David Gordon Green trilogy so far, whether you've enjoyed it, whether it's been up to your expectations, whether there's been things that you haven't liked, and also what you expect for Halloween Ends, what you really want to see and how you expect it to end. Yeah, that'll be very interesting. So once again, thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a little bit of a ramble, a little bit of a you know, me spewing thoughts out on, if you like. But please give the video a thumbs up whether you liked it or not. It really does help the channel. It just means I can do some more of these videos. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell, and like I say, please flood those comments. I really want to interact with you guys, and I really want to see what you think about the whole Halloween saga. I'm a big fan, as you can see. Got the t-shirt, got the mask, got the little man. And I'll speak to you all soon. Have a great Halloween, and we'll be back with more Halloween-y videos very soon.